Yes, sir. It is I, your boy from Bed-Stuy, and I greatly appreciate everybody tuning in for Don't F Up the Crime Scene, where me, special guests, will tune in and talk about our experiences on crime scenes and how to mess up the case. All right? So sit back and enjoy and holler back at your boy. Holla. All right, welcome back, guys. We have a fun one, episode 14, and we'll be talking today to a Mr. Quentin Johnson, one of my homie homes, good peoples, and we talk about a few things, a few subjects that I want to bring up because he's an OG in the game. He's been doing it a very long time. So let me read you up on Mr. Quentin Johnson. He hails at Aurora Animal Care and Control. He's been doing this since 1995. Some of y'all wasn't even born. He's been around the block, 27 years in the game. Y'all don't understand. So let me go ahead. He's an expert in animal fighting in courts in Illinois. He's an expert as cruelty expert on in Illinois. He's an expert on several different things. Plus, as far as combat and everything, he was showing me back in the day how to like stretch and stuff like that. He's awesome. He has his NACA certification. He has his LATI certification. He has several chemical capture certifications from American Humane Association. And also, he has 100% conviction rate of Illinois levels of cruelty, and most of them plea bargains, but he's awesome. And once wrote $47,000 in tickets and municipal violations in one court case. He's certified Humane Euthanasia, American Humane Association, and he is a guest lecturer at Harper College and Aurora University. Please, and hold up, one more thing. President of Illinois Animal Association. Okay, please give it up. Round of applause for Mr. Quentin Johnson, Super ACO, and my boy. How's it going?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me on, Kevin. I appreciate it.
No, it's the pleasure's all mine. So what's up, man? I've been procrastinating for a long time, getting everything up, and now I'm like, I'm so crunk and get it cracking. Quint, you know me. I like to have little fun, stuff like that. We're gonna go through some questions and get everything. And plus, I wrote some things down for us to talk about because we got a little time. We can talk and everything. So I'm gonna put this in your ear and I'm gonna go through my questions shortly. And I want everybody to know who this is I'm talking to. He's I would say one of the four horsemen on the Illinois cruelty, Illinois. Dogfighting, Illinois, everything. He's everything in Illinois. He's Mr. Aurora. That's all I'm saying. My friend, how's it been working in Aurora for the last 27 years?
It's really an adventure and a privilege for me to do what I've been doing for so long. I've been through many different managers, many different mayors, but the opportunity to work in my community, to gain the respect of the community and to work with them to change their mind about what the world of animal control really is as opposed to what their preconceived notions are. It has been so exciting. Most days are just humdrum dog cat stuff, but you never know in this industry what's around the corner.
The longevity you had for the last 27 years is a testament of how you care for your community. I mean, just 27 years. I think that's 28 years in the business, 28, 9, something like that. But I took a year off, continuing teaching, stuff like that. And now I'm back working ACO work up in Maryland right now. The commitment of you doing your job in a professional manner, my hats goes off. I was talking to my boy Matt Mondays. He was in the game for 17 years. So it takes a person who can deal with a lot, especially when you have different administrations coming in and stuff like that. And I get it. I understand how rough it can be, how taxing it can be. But I applaud you for staying in the game that long and watching the changes. So what type of changes have you seen going through in your last 27 years?
I want to say the biggest game changer in the world of animal control in terms of keeping your population under control in the shelter has been the advent of the microchip. The ability to identify animals in the field without a tag or anything like that has been monumental in getting animals returned back to their owners without requiring a stay at an animal control shelter. I think that is hands down the biggest change that has helped so many animals get returned back to home and avoid the stay at a shelter, which can be traumatic for an animal. It's a safe place to be, but having lots of other dogs barking and growling and everything as you're going into the shelter, or being if your cat's smelling other cats around you in a crowded location, that's stressful on animals. Then the microchip was a game changer, and we jumped on it early on. And I'd have to say that a good 60% of the animals that I pick up out in the field are microchipped, and about 90% of those animals are going straight home as opposed to the shelter.
I think it's awesome, and I'm there with you. I'm there with you with RTOs, return to owner, if possible. I think it's a testament of technology working with us, because we come from where we didn't have AC in the trucks, we didn't have computers in the trucks, we didn't have a lot in the trucks, and now we do. So the testament to technology, and then us not being in a rut, being the old school OGs, but changing with time. You know what I'm saying? Because don't get me wrong, we still have issues. Don't get me wrong, I accept and I don't accept, but I'm glad to see that you accepted the technology going forward.
Absolutely. I mean, back in the day, we had a radio. We didn't have a computer. We had a pen and paper. We had a ticket book. We had a catch pole, and we had a leash, perhaps. Most of our calls just came to me over the radio. I'd have to write it down. I'd have to go there, and then everything I did was pretty much conveyed over a radio to somebody in the office who typed all the information in. Now, with the advent of having laptops in our vehicles, just like the police do, that takes a great burden off the office staff, because they don't have to deal with everything that is going on out in the field. They can focus on what's happening inside the shelter.
That's real time, because, like I said, we've been doing this, me and you, for so long, and the game has changed. I haven't seen a lot of ACO, are mostly women now coming into the field versus males. And then and it's no different, because when I train or when I FTO, I treat everybody as an officer, no matter what. But I've seen the same thing in the veterinary field, where it's a lot of vets are mostly women. Now, I'm sorry, somebody who identifies as a woman, because I do not want to get messed up and dogged out for getting any type of genders wrong, stuff like that. So, hey, y'all, you don't come at me. Do not try to cancel me, okay? But the biggest thing here is I've seen a lot of non-males in the shelters, in the field, in this career field now. It's been a bit of change. What about you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, honestly, our shelter, in terms of field staff, up until 2 or 3 years ago, was exclusively male ACOs.
Mm-hmm.
And we really had an opportunity when one of our gentlemen retired after 25 years, and the next person that bid on it was one of the ladies that worked in the office.
Mm-hmm.
She had, to put it in the words of a local police officer who encountered her, she's badass.
Love
this
it.
woman has done many things. I mean, she comes from the background of her family hunted, so she's used to seeing different things with animals. She also worked for a time on a ranch out west, wrangling horses and things of that nature. There is nothing out there that scares this woman, and it's so good to see somebody just step up to the plate, regardless of their gender, and take care of business. Now, 27, 28 years in the business, we do have a woman named Lauren Malmberg who retired a few years ago. She had 35 years in the business.
Damn.
And she is who I would call the Grand Dame of Illinois animal
I like that. I
welfare
like that.
because she single-handedly created uh, groups to help promote training, and it was because of her efforts to create training opportunities that we now have a profession, not just a job, a profession recognized here in the state of Illinois.
I'm glad you said that. I was talking with Matt and a few others, Dan and my boy Dustin. A lot of people don't understand this is not a job. 5 years and under is a job. 5 years and over is a profession. It's a career. And we really need to give people flowers. Dan always talks about give people flowers. I'm trying to give you your flowers today. You are my first going to be episode for us. Going with interviews. I told you before, and I was making sure stuff like that. And I've done a whole bunch of interviews, but you're the first one who's going to be on my episodes being posted after my solos. I think we're good friends on and off work, stuff like that. I really trust and value your opinion. Sometimes we need time to blow off steams, and I'll call you like this. Hey, am I tripping? And you're like, nah, you ain't tripping. It is what it is. But I think we need that between each other. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. It is so imperative for people in our profession to have the network of close friends and colleagues that you can talk shop with, that you can bounce ideas off of and see if you're thinking soundly, or if you're not, to bring you back to reality. I mean, it's true in any profession, but I think so many people that are new to the profession are caught up in the animal, caring for the animal, and they burn out quickly because they do not have a network of support around them. And in some cases, I know they work for frustrating managers and supervisors. I get that. I've had good, bad, and ugly in terms of supervisors and coworkers. However, I always like to point out that if you really want to make a difference in the most amount of lives in terms of saving animals, you have to think long term.
Wow.
Is one case worth hanging your career on, or is there something that you can work your way through? May not be the most ideal outcome in the world for you, but if you don't have state's attorneys that have your back, if you don't have managers that have your back, is it something that you can actually do?
Speak.
Recognizing that this is all I'm able to do with the situation. My hands are tied in other fashions, but I will do this and then move forward, knowing that as times change, as state's attorneys change, as managers change, you may then have other opportunities for either prosecution or taking things to a higher level than what you're able to deal with now. And I see it so many times, the frustration in our colleagues' voices and even in their faces when I meet them, the sheer frustration about not being able to get anything done. And I get it. I completely understand it. But I think my long game here has been, if I leave, I can't do anything else. I can't help another animal. I can't help educate a colleague. I can't help educate the community about what we're trying to achieve here if I leave. So does that mean that there are times that things don't go the way we want them to do? Yeah. In life in general, yes, that happens. But to be able to kind of roll with the punches, accept the good with the bad, and have a long game outlook, knowing that down the road you will get the opportunity to do things the way you want.
I tell you like this. I've been doing this for a long time in different jurisdictions, what have you. And I had to put my ego in check a long time ago. I had to put my ego in check and just back up and back off a whole bunch of things. The biggest thing, we're going to go through a top 8 real quick.